What is going on, YouTube? I am back with another arena video. Though today I would like to talk to you about a deck I made that I have named Legendary Green. Now, what is Legendary Green? It doesn't have a name here, but I have named it in my live stream. If you missed my live stream, stay tuned on the channel if you want to catch the live streams. I normally find decks that will take me places. And let me just talk about what this deck has done. So this is my leaderboard matchup, everything from from untappedgg.org. And I just realized that this is super zoomed in and I didn't realize it, but it's okay because it works for what I'm trying to do here today. So we have a grand total of 20, what is that, 29 matches. Sorry, I'm looking at the other screen. I'm very confused. I have a grand total of 29 matches with this deck, and this deck has won nigh every single deck. I mean, every single game. There's only been a few games that I've lost. The 4 here, 2 of them I actually had to quit. My cat got his head stuck inside of something, and then the other one I had to go pick up my food from the door. Either way, this deck has only lost 2 games actually, leaving it at a little bit higher than 86%. But even with an 86% win rate, here we are. Here's the final version of the deck. It has a 94% win rate with a 100% win rate off the draw. And what did we change? All we took was Yorn of Winter out of the deck. We never used the Rhyme Staff. We never used that at all. And we added Kolavari, God of Kinship. This card is so good. She comes down as a 6/6 most of the time. You can't see that because of the way the screen is up, but don't worry, I will highlight the cards back in Arena when I'm going over this deck more in depth. There is no question that the deck has weaknesses. One of the biggest weaknesses that this deck has is life gain. If you can't get on the ground fast enough, you will not stand a chance against white black. In fact, that is my only loss, I believe. Yeah, against a guy named Diablo. Shout out to Diablo. He beat me. It was a very intense game on the live stream. After I beat Diablo, I lost no games. But before I got to Diablo, I had won something like 14 games in a row or something like that. This deck is insane. Now, why is this deck doing so well in Arena? Well, sorry, I had to drink some coffee. Well, quite honestly, I can't really say for sure other than it has variety. If I take you over here, or bring this over here, I suppose, this is Mono Green Stompy. When you click on Mono Green Stompy, what you see is they're playing normally about 3 copies of Great Henge. The faster decks play 2. They're playing 4 copies of Lovestruck Beast, 4 copies of Questing Beast, 4 copies of Scavenging Ooze, 4 copies of Gem Razors, and 4 copies of Castle Garenbrig. These are all the cards that are multiple copies and in every single deck. If you notice my deck over here, though, we are only playing the Questing Beast and the Great Henge. That is the only thing we have in common with this deck, and it gives us speed. It gives us so much speed. Playing Old Growth Troll, just like Mono Green Snow did just a couple weeks ago, gives you so much more low to the ground power. This is a 3-mana 4/4 that after a Garruk's Uprising is on the battlefield draws you a card. They will have to get through this guy, so they will Storm's Wrath. He comes back, he gives you more mana. She gives you mana. She makes your things cost less. Once these 3 cards are on the battlefield, you have no problem. You're normally waiting for a Garruk's Uprising just so you can draw a card and so you can give everything in this deck trample. Here's another thing that is very good about the deck. We have Filtration. We have Nylea's Intervention. We have Nylea herself filters the deck. Now, it's only the top card of your library, but she can take care of her own business. She can get you things that you need off the top of your deck. Kolvari filters the deck for you. You can look at the top 6 cards and review a legendary card from among them and put them into your hand. This card is very good in this deck because we are playing, let's count them together, everybody. 2 legendary creature, 4 legendary creature, 5. That's not how that works, Ryan. Crunchy's not very good at math. 7 legendary creature. 9 legendary creature. 12 legendary creature. 15 legendary creature. Okay, the bit's over. I'm terrible at impersonations. We all learned that today. Between filtration and the amount of legendary creatures you have in this deck, you have no problem playing her. You're going to grab one. You're going to filter the deck. Then we're playing the badass himself, the ultimate card, Spirit of the Altar God. Man, I love Bear. Bear is so good. We have Toski. You can honestly go down on one copy of Toski and go up a Questing Beast. I like 2 copies of Toski. We have no Mutate, so he's normally never going to get in, but he does end up drawing us a lot of cards. Because Questing Beast has Death Touch on it, he will normally get in. Bear will often come down and be like in 11-11 by the time you play a bear if you aren't playing a bear. Normally your first bear gets blipped because there's a Questing Beast on the board and they're like, I gotta get rid of one of those. And there's normally a Garrick's Uprising on the battlefield. How do we keep Garrick's Uprising on the battlefield? Filtration, filtration, filtration. I feel like I am just giving a lecture about taking care of a beta fish. Filtration, filtration, filtration. Now, we could go up to 4 copies of Questing Beast. If we go up to 4 copies of Questing Beast, though, we're going to need 4 copies of Blizzard Brawl because Blizzard Brawl gives him indestructible and he has Death Touch, so most things will die. Outside of that, though, Vivian is kind of our ultimate top deck. When we are set up, when we are waiting to set up, when we are trying to set up any of these, Vivian is our answer. We draw a Vivian, we play a Vivian, and she just gives us what we need. She keeps us on speed. She keeps us intact. If they've been blowing up our board, they have to deal with Vivian, which means they also have to deal with probably a 3/3 beast creature. Kongala, you all know if you've been watching the videos, Kongala has become my dude lately. I absolutely love Kongala. He comes in, he fights, he's a 7/6. We have no humans in the deck, so we can't give him indestructible, but oh my gosh, blowing up artifacts and enchantments. He's the first one to go. You play Kongala, they blip him, then you play Vorniclux, and they're like, damn, I wasted that spell. Vorniclux is so good in this deck. Vorniclux comes in, he's a 6/6 with haste. Oftentimes, that's all they have left. They normally have 4 life left by the time we're on mana to play Vorniclux, which is normally around turn 8. On turn 6, you're oftentimes playing a Kongala or you're playing a Vivian, just to kind of keep their board state in a position where you can dominate. We have 1 Symbiosis. Playing lands that are not lands was a real problem for us. We really needed to see lands that came in untapped, but having World Tree is so good because when we go up against decks that just absolutely dominate us, we can get a Nylea and a Corvori off and out of our deck just with a World Tree, and it's so just helpful. Giving us all the colors doesn't really matter too much, though, because we are a mono green deck. But the Great Henge does come in super handy. When you play a Vorniclux after a Great Henge, he comes in as an 8/8, normally with Trample, and you've gained 2 life on it. The game against White-Black that we lost, the only reason we really couldn't keep up with him was he was gaining an average of 4 life per turn, where we were only gaining an average of 2 life per turn. And that was just enough to put him over us. So I haven't played Arena since I played this deck, and I'm not going to go over the deck playing it right now. I just wanted to give you an update on how I got to Mythic. It is with this deck. Check it out. This deck is super fun. Legendary green. You feel like every time you cast a legendary creature, you're doing something right with your life. Check the deck out. Check out my profile on Untapped GG. Thank you. Huge shout out to Untapped GG for making it possible to track these stats. It is a free tracker. Check them out as well. Thanks for watching.